Good evening. Welcome to the 62nd Annual P.A.C.E Awards. The past year has been filled with a great deal of trials, but also a great deal of progress for both our community and your chamber. One of the driving forces behind our progress has been outstanding leadership with our chamber community. Tonight, we look forward to honoring all those leaders and their commitment to the Greater Pensacola community. I would like to thank all members of the Greater Pensacola Chamber Board of Directors and the Pensacola Chamber Foundation Board that are here with us this evening. If you currently serve on the Chamber or Foundation Board, please stand. Thank you for your service and dedication. I would also like to thank our title sponsor, Titanium Wireless, gold sponsor, HCA Florida West Hospital, our award sponsors, Step One Automotive, Ascension Sacred Heart, Baptist Healthcare, Cox Communication, Landrum HR, the University of West Florida, and Pedan Air Conditioning, Plumbing and Electrical. Our VIP reception sponsor, Cat Country 98.7, News Radio 92.3, and then a long list of table sponsors. Thank you. Thank you to our ambassadors, those in the red coats that greeted you at the door. They work hard to represent the Pensacola community and to do a fine job at it. Now please allow me to introduce Chelsea Polk, Chief of Staff for Titanium Wireless, to lead us in a toast to kick off this evening's festivities.
As technology advances, the ways we communicate change, making it difficult to keep your business operating efficiently. You don't have time for unexpected data throttling, excessive hold times, or unreliable, inconsistent support. You need a partner who understands your business's needs and delivers concierge service on the best networks. We transform the corporate mobility experience, giving you efficiency, reliability, allowing you to keep your business connected. We are Titanium Wireless.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Pensacola Greater Area of Pensacola Chamber of Commerce, for having us. P.A.C.E stands for Pensacola Area Commitment to Excellence, and that is exactly what I see when I look around this stadium at all of the faces that I see here. I and Titanium Wireless are honored to be surrounded by healthcare excellence, business leaders, and entrepreneurs as tonight's title sponsor. Please raise your glass and join me in a toast to all the extraordinary businesses and leaders here tonight to celebrate the 62nd Annual P.A.C.E Awards. Cheers to you all and the opportunity to commit to excellence together. Enjoy your dinner.
Good evening. The first thing I need to do tonight, if you would allow me, is to put Todd's mind at ease a little bit. I had received the invitation, of course, that said no heels. I then got an email that said, you know, all the instructions and things, and we're really sorry, but no heels allowed. So I started surveying different women who were coming, and I just want you to know I did not find one single woman who had a problem with not wearing heels tonight, okay? We are all good with that. But good evening, and it is an honor for me to serve as your MC again this evening. I am blessed to have been asked, and just want you to know that, again, as we celebrate tonight, we're celebrating a very special group of people. And for over 6 decades now, in fact, the Greater Pensacola Chamber has honored more than 200 individuals, and each of them has made an incredible difference in our community. I'd also like to thank each of you for being here tonight, because you, the members of the Chamber, you're the investors, you're the partners, and you make the Chamber what it is. We would not be here, of course, without your support, your dedication to this organization, and your community. It is nothing short of outstanding. And of course, once again, I am truly humbled to be here with you tonight. Tonight, we will celebrate and honor not only those that will be recognized, but we will also honor each of you. And thank you for the things that you do each and every day to make this the incredible place that it is to live. I'm sure that there are many past P.A.C.E. Award recipients with us tonight. And if you are a past award recipient, I would ask you to please stand so that we might recognize you. I would like to take an opportunity to once again recognize our sponsors. And again, we do this several times throughout this program tonight. And it is important for us to do that because without them and their commitment to this community and specifically to this event tonight, it would not be. So again, we thank our Titanium Wireless, the gold sponsor for the evening. Thank you. HCA Florida West Hospital, our gold sponsor. And we want to thank our award sponsors tonight, Step One Automotive, Ascension Sacred Heart, Baptist Healthcare, Cox Communications, Landrum HR, University of West Florida, Pedan Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical. Also tonight, we thank our supporting sponsors, Cat Country 98.7 Radio, News Radio 92.3, Rapid Response, Proud Moments ABA. Again, without our sponsors tonight, this event could not be the event that it will be tonight. So thank you to all of you. Tonight, we will honor several very special people, and they work in one of the most daunting environments within our workforce today, healthcare. These individuals encountered circumstances that certainly none of us could have anticipated when they started their careers. They have gone to work every day over the past 2 years now. They have faced challenges, the challenges of sickness, and certainly even death, more than they ever could have imagined. It is my honor to introduce to you the 2022 Greater Pensacola Chamber P.A.C.E. Award recipients in the Healthcare Special Edition. Here to present our first award of the evening, which is the Emerging Leader of the Year Award, I would ask you to please welcome Don Rudolph, President of Ascension Sacred Heart.
Good evening, everyone. So when asked why Sacred Heart wanted to sponsor the Emerging Leader of the Year, we thought about the strength of the leadership in this community. And we felt so important that we recognize our future leaders. So tonight, this award will be awarded to an individual in the healthcare field has shown significant potential for leadership recently in the healthcare-related endeavors and who is expected to continue to have a positive impact in the community. This year's recipient embodies every facet of that. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Our award recipient leads with a servant's heart and will to make an impact. Those who benefit from the program she has built for the past 22 years motivate her to be a servant leader. From Memphis Healthy Churches to Pensacola Baptist Healthcare, she has been able to manage and build programs that have a positive effect on the community. She was recruited to Baptist to launch the Faith Healing Network. No structured program existed that was focused solely on managing population health and helping congregations navigate the complexities of the healthcare system. The innovative Faith Health Network was created to build a bridge from the hospital to the people within the surrounding neighborhoods by developing personal relationships with local congregations, volunteers, and resolute healthcare professionals. This recipient will continue to bloom in the Pensacola community, and I am honored to present her this award.
Well, Joy moved here from Memphis, and when she came here, she took what we had struggled to even turn into a concept, and she turned it into a reality. And that reality is our Faith Health Network today, which on a daily basis touches so many lives in such a meaningful way. She's actually shorter than I am, which is a rare treat in my world. So I said, now here's a lady I want to hang out with for a while because she will make me feel tall. When you take Joy and the team that she's developed and her servant leadership spirit and heart, it is unlimited what they can accomplish and the good they can do in improving the lives of the people that we've committed to serving. And when you look at her and see all of her qualities, all of her assets, attributes, you put that together as a total package, and it just doesn't get any better than that.
So, Lonnie, is this the time to cry or is it the time to smile? I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to be been selected. I'm trying to just get the tears to stop because if you know me, you know I'm not an emotional person. But this is hard. My greatest accomplishments are not what John said, Lonnie said. My greatest accomplishments are sitting at that table and to hear my seed say, I'm gonna change the world. She was with me when I was shooting in the gym and missing all the shots. So that is more than enough. Thank you, Pensacola Chamber, the Greater Pensacola Chamber. Thank you, Baptist Healthcare, John Porter. You saw God in me and my future here before I saw it. And I don't take that lightly. You are my forever friend, and I am taller than him. Lonnie Wesley, my brother, thank you for the covering, the spiritual covering that you have over me and my family. And I want to put on record that I am not a member of Greater Little Rock Baptist Church. Mark, Casey, Candy, Jennifer, I call them my core team. They put up with me when my facial expressions change and I don't agree with things, and they're like, what? To the people that I have had the privilege of leading since I've been here, one in particular, I couldn't even talk about the success of the Faith Health Network without calling this name. She's gonna kill me later, but I'm gonna do it anyway, and that is Alicia Williams. I stand on her shoulders, she stands on mine, and we make this Faith Health Network run, along with Holly Kelly and Jasmine Posey. To my friends that are here, my friends that have become my sisters, you know who you are. Thank you for putting up with me. To the Greater Pensacola area, thank you for accepting this little girl from Memphis, South Memphis to be exact. And I just want to appreciate you. So if you've worked with me in any facet over these last almost 5 years, please stand, whether personal, professional. If you've worked with me in any capacity, I want you to stand. What this shows me is you guys have watered this garden, and I promise to make sure that we go to full bloom. For you guys that didn't stand, I'll call you tomorrow. Thank you.
Our next award of the evening is Advocate Leader of the Year, presented by Ray Walker, President, Chamber Board of Directors.
Advocate Leader of the Year is awarded to an individual in the healthcare field who has shown significant compassion to help or assist others within their leadership role, and who is expected to continue having a positive impact in the healthcare community. Misty Copeland said, "Be strong, be fearless, be beautiful, and believe that anything is possible when you have the right people there to support you." This recipient is a native of Baldwin County, Alabama, by way of preeminent, and a graduate from the University of Alabama. She worked for the Department of Human Resources for the state of Alabama, managing home health care for the poor and elderly. Her visits consisted of assessments, wellness checks, and coordination with the home health care agencies across Baldwin and Mobile counties. In 2019, she joined B Virtual Health and Wellness with a steady supply of Diet Coke and a tank full of enthusiasm. She has been on the front lines subduing COVID in our community when the Delta variant surged last summer and there were not enough testing options available. In the community, our winners stepped up to the plate and created a COVID drive-through line to help assist more patients at B Virtual Wellness. You could find her in the 100-degree weather in most days in July for 12 to 14 hours with a smile on her face. With her help, B Virtual has built a consistent model to test and treat patients as our state sites have come and gone over time. Her willingness to get in the thick of things to support her leadership and team to care for our community's families speaks volumes of her loyalty to the mission of a healthier community.
Back in 2019, she and Buffy Bailey decided that they wanted to start a online concierge medical practice. And then, as we all know, in 2020, COVID hit, and lo and behold, they fall into COVID testing, doing more concierge COVID testing. Well, how it has evolved, of which they are now set up predominantly at East Hill Pharmacy over on 12th Avenue, she's still right in the middle of the COVID testing. And now, God bless her, she's outside in the weather, hot, cold, rain, as people are driving through, concerned about whether or not they have the virus or not.
We're all very fortunate in our communities to have people like Hallie who are out there doing this very important work at a time when nobody really knew what to do, and I think Hallie just focused on doing the next right thing, which is sometimes all we can do. But I think she's done that very well, and it's served the Pensacola community in a fantastic way.
When she goes into something like this, she goes in hands, feet, the full on.
The Advocate of the Year award is really about compassion. And in over 30 years of knowing Hallie, I've seen her demonstrate this multiple times. I've always been able to count on her to be a compassionate friend through whatever I was facing at the time.
She's not the type A personality, but she is headstrong. But when she finds something out, or when she finds something that she becomes passionate about, she dives full into it.
Back in the day, our days in college, she was a social work major. So it's always been something that's just very important to her.
Keep it up. You've done a great job. Congratulations on winning this, and we're all very proud of you.
Congratulations, Hallie. It is well deserved.
Please join me in recognizing our 2022 Advocate Leader of the Year, Mrs. Halliday Leidner.
Are we all short? It's my kind of place. Thank you. Thank you for this recognition. It is humbling to know that I have been chosen as Advocate of the Year, and what a year it's been. I'm not sure who nominated me, but to whoever it was, thank you for seeing how hard we were working. I was not alone in this endeavor. I want to thank Buffy Bailey for taking a chance and expanding B Virtual Health and Wellness COVID testing capabilities. And I also want to thank McClellan Grimm and Rick Fuller at East Hill Pharmacy for seeing the need to offer testing and for their willingness to work together to help Pensacola. When we had our COVID spikes, we learned to adjust quickly and to prepare for whatever may happen next. Our team has had some good days and some bad, but overall it's been very good. I need to thank my family, Mark, Madeline, and Anley. You've been amazing. Your support has made all of this possible. Mark, you held down the house when I was working crazy hours, and thank you for the patience when I would get home and I was too tired to speak. You could have done some more laundry, but we'll talk about that later. Thank you, and I love you. And lastly, I want to thank the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce. It is amazing to be seen. I am honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you.
Our next award of the evening is Business Leader of the Year. This award tonight presented virtually by David Delleman, Market Vice President for Cox Communications. We invite you know, there's always one. Hi, David. We are. We worked together how many years ago?
Many years ago. I was a kid.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Delleman.
Thank you, Sue. You know I love you. And I'm glad you don't have heels on tonight. So the Business Leader of the Year is awarded to an individual in the healthcare field for outstanding success in healthcare through the development of a new process, product, or service that meaningfully contributes to the healthcare community and who exemplifies the qualities of a business visionary. Since arriving in Pensacola in 2019, our Business Leader of the Year has been a force in the community. Because of her transformative leadership, her hospital announced a residency program with the University of Central Florida College of Medicine. This program will ultimately lead to over 180 medical school residents moving to our area to participate in physical medicine and rehab, OBGYN, general surgery, family practice, and emergency medicine residency programs. This transformative leader has also opened a pediatric intensive care unit, a freestanding emergency room in the northwestern part of our county, established a comprehensive stroke program, a pediatric spine program, and a structural heart program. While her accomplishments have been outstanding, her true impact on our community has been how she led her organization and our community during the COVID-19 pandemic. She was instrumental in helping secure vaccines and developing a distribution plan. Physicians who've worked under her leadership have said she's been the best admin they've ever worked under. Robin S. Sharma said, "Leadership is not about a title or designation, it's about impact, influence, and inspiration." Tonight, we celebrate our 2022 Business Leader of the Year.
So I think that if you're looking for an outstanding leader, she certainly has, Gay has certainly filled those shoes for Northwest Florida.
She's to the point, she's clear, she's logical, she's innovative, she's very interactive with people, not afraid to put her ideas out there and not afraid to activate them, even with no history of times in the past from other people.
She was, somehow able to move forward the projects that were on the board that, at some time, we thought could be at risk. But she was able to manage through, a very difficult time while also moving forward a very big, project.
West Florida Hospital was one of the first to shut down all elective surgeries. And I felt so sorry for Gay because she had to stand there in front of the medical executive committee and indicate that the hospital was being shut down for all elective purposes. She was top-notch in how she did that. She was top-notch in what she said and how she carried it out, and has been that way to this day.
Well, despite the pandemic and despite hurricanes and tropical storms, Gay has led supremely West Florida Hospital in the expansion of programs and new geographical location.
The ability that she has to affect change, positive change within that organization, which has a spillover effect into the community, has really been astounding.
She's left us a legacy. She started things over the last 3 years that are going to take years or even a decade or more to carry out.
We were blessed to have her. I was blessed to get to work alongside her and see how she works with others and in her approach and how that led to success. I'm often astounded by how many folks she was able to come into contact and build relationships with over a short period of time.
She has plans for the future, even though she wishes to retire and leave us. I have a funny feeling she's going to have a finger in the future of this hospital for a long time to come. She's a tremendous person. We will all miss her.
I can think of no better person that should be honored with the Business Leader of the Year than Gay Nord.
Please join me in recognizing our 2022 Business Leader of the Year, Mrs. Gay Nord.
So I am very well known for being direct and to the point. And I did have a problem with no heels. I'm just saying. But I still took care of that. So I would like to thank the Pensacola Chamber of Commerce for this special honor and for dedicating tonight's awards ceremony to our healthcare heroes. Thank you to Dr. Ed Meadows, Bruce Friedenberg, and Dr. Donald Dewey for sharing their kind words in the video. It's an honor to work with you, and I appreciate and admire your service to the community. This award is truly a reflection of the dedicated colleagues and physicians at HCA Florida West Hospital. I'm grateful for the compassionate care that they provide to our patients and the loved ones each day. But this award is also a reflection of the incredible executive team who's with me here tonight. And it's a huge honor working beside them each day. So I thank all of you. I'd also like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to our community for the endless support over the last 2 years, fighting something we'd never imagined we'd see in our lifetime, a global pandemic. This truly has been a collaborative effort between the healthcare community, our area's community leaders, and elected officials. We should all be very, very proud. It's been a pleasure working side by side with each one of you. I will certainly miss you, and I may be back. Thank you again for this prestigious recognition, being named the Business Leader of the Year. Thank you.
Notice David left very suddenly. Our next award of the evening is Community Leader of the Year. This award presented by Mark Faulkner, President and CEO of Baptist Healthcare.
Thank you. Good evening. So it was 2 years ago, March 4th, 2020, at this very event at Pensacola Beach, a guy walked up to me, whispered in my ear and said, "We have our first presumptive positive." Now, I knew what that meant. Our community, Baptist Healthcare, we were in the fight. And for 2 long years, we have fought together this pandemic. And I am so grateful for how this community has supported healthcare. I personally would like to acknowledge Gay, Don Rudolph, Chandra Smiley, for the incredible partnership and the leadership you have shown. We have built these relationships and this mutual support in our efforts to deal with this unprecedented situation. So thank you all. And it has been an incredible journey. And again, I'm grateful for how the community has surrounded us as providers. And I'm grateful for the Chamber for dedicating this evening tonight for healthcare leadership. Thank you, Todd, and the Chamber. So tonight I'm here to present the Community Leader of the Year Award. And as a lifelong resident of this community and the CEO of a community-based healthcare system, it is my honor to be a part of this, because this guy did some amazing things as our Community Leader of the Year, really stepped up in ways that were unimaginable. Mother Teresa once said, "I alone cannot change the world like Joyce Sharp, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." Well, our Community Leader of the Year is a fourth-generation Pensacolian that has cast a boulder into the tides of the community during this pandemic. He is set apart for his service to the Pensacola area community by leading his organization's efforts to provide COVID-19 testing and vaccination clinics during the 2021 and 2020 when we were just getting into this. Like virtually all communities in the United States, Pensacola quickly found out that we did not have the resources to test for this virus in people who were showing symptoms for COVID-19. Initially, tests had to be sent away to Tampa, Florida. You remember that. To the Department of Health, which had limited capacity and significant delays. Without large-scale local testing, there was no effective way to isolate infected people in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties and prevent them from infecting others. March 9th, 2020, he took on the task of setting up the first drive-through COVID-19 testing center in North Florida. Amid a global pandemic causing tremendous fear and uncertainty, the operational challenges were great, but thankfully, he was up to the challenge. Over the past 20 years, our recipient has demonstrated his commitment to improving the health of our community and providing compassionate care for all persons, with special attention to the poor and the vulnerable. His integrity, his drive, his servant leadership, and ability to cultivate trusting relationships with everyone with whom he serves are truly exemplary.
I met Justin professionally while we were in the midst of one of the most challenging times in our community during COVID. I can't emphasize the importance of what Justin meant to the community, but at that particular time, we were really starting from scratch, and he really was the beginning for what we did here in Northwest Florida.
Anything he does, he's going to go all out. I mean, anything he does. But the reason that Justin is getting the award, as I understand it, is that it's his leadership in providing the community with the first drive-through testing sites in our area. These were things that had never been done before here, really hadn't been done much anywhere in the country at that point in time. And they also had to be put together in a short period of time. This involved him collaborating with a lot of folks inside Ascension as well as outside of Ascension.
Justin was right there at the very beginning doing that, getting the information, telling us what was happening with the testing, how many people we had, how many people were testing, how many people were positive, and what was happening.
I have a little funny story about that weekend when we were planning how to manage the impact of the pandemic. And of course, Justin was all over setting up the mobile site clinics. And I did the worst thing possible. I went out and Googled, mobile site clinics, and it was, a little chaotic. And over the weekend, I text Justin, and in his normal, right away response, it was like, "No worries, we got this. It was well executed, it was patient-centric, and I laugh about it now thinking that he didn't have it completely under control.
Justin sort of really was the tip of the spear for how we did COVID, and it really, in a way, we've never had to flex between governmental response and health agencies for any crisis.
He just embodies the best values that a community would want in a leader.
His servant leadership, his hard work, and his ability to build trusting relationships with a lot of different parties, I think, was really fundamental to getting this done. He loves the community. He loves the community.
Justin, you absolutely deserve this award. You are steadfast and so dedicated to this community. You walk the walk, you talk the talk. I love Pensacola more because of you.
Justin, thank you for the love you have for this community and the effort you put into it. You have made a tremendous difference for all of us that live here in Northwest Florida. Thank you very much for your efforts.
He continues to amaze me every day, every week at what he's been able to do, the way he served the community. I'm just extremely, extremely proud of him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our 2022 Community Leader of the Year, Mr. Justin Labrato. Justin.
All right, I got a lot of notes. I don't deserve this. It's my team that deserves it. So, but thanks, Dawn, Mayor Robinson, and Dad for that video. That was very special. And you know, thanks to the chamber. I mean, this is very special. But like I said, this award goes to my team, and 300 plus volunteers that we had that worked at the drive-through testing and the vaccination sites. Looking back to March 2020, it's hard to believe the work that our team did, and we had to do it outside the traditional healthcare facilities. Like they said, we opened up the first drive-through testing site in North Florida. We were looking at all the videos of what was happening out west, and it was chaos. And I was one day away. I'm a little competitive. I was one day away from a Miami site opening up, or we'd have been the first in all of Florida. So. We knew we had to do something to educate and test the community, and like Mark said, I am a fourth-generation Pensacolian, both on the Labrato side and the Stewart side. So we did this to take care of our friends and our families in Pensacola. So I think our team exceeded expectations. We were open for 61 weeks and tested over 100,000 people. So not too bad for our team. Then January 1st, 2021, vaccines. So Governor DeSantis had a meeting. I was watching college football, and our CEO, Tom Van Osdol, was on a Florida Safety Net hospital meeting, and Governor DeSantis basically said, I have a Field of Dreams scenario, which is perfect, you know, we're at a baseball stadium, where if you build a vaccination site, I will give you vaccines. So Tom texted me and he said, what'd you think? And I said, put Pensacola on the list. I knew that was the only way Pensacola was going to beat out the larger cities. So we did it. 5 days later, we, thanks to Olive Baptist Church, thanks to Milton Community Center, we were ready for 2,000 vaccines that day. And we exceeded our expectations on that one. And Governor DeSantis showed up, and he lived up to his word, and we opened up the pipeline of vaccines to our area. We ended up doing 170,000 vaccines in 6 months. And so I am an accountant, so you know that's 1,000 a day, which is not that bad. But we opened it up not just for Pensacola. It was for Destin and Milton and Panama City and Port St. Joe. So once we got it open in Pensacola, we were able to get running with it. But like I said, it's not me, it's my team. And I've got some of my team members here I want to thank. Kristen Sylvester. Kristen, wave here. There you go. Kristen, that 61 weeks of the testing site, Kristen ran that site. She did an amazing job. You probably wouldn't recognize her because she probably had an N100 or N95 on. Jenny Ford, she was our lab expert. She's won many awards for her hard work. I don't think Jenny's here tonight, but she made sure of those 100,000 vaccines. All of them were documented, and we got them back to the patients fast. Jacob Fisher for the Olive Baptist Church. So the Olive Baptist Church vaccination site, that was the largest vaccination site in the Florida Panhandle. Amisha Gurjal, the Milton vaccination site. So she did a great job there. Jennifer Henry for our associate vaccines. Christina Hay. So one thing you probably didn't realize is we had a call center, and people could call and ask questions, and we were averaging 800 calls a day. And then that same call center would call with results. That was Christina and her very kind patient team that was talking to the Pensacola community. And then Carrie Sessions in the lab at the hospital. She did an amazing job. She is on Don's team, but fast, accurate results. We did not have to send them to Tampa. I'd also like to thank Tom Van Osdol, our CEO for Ascension, Florida, and Susan Cornejo, our Chief Operating Officer, for giving my team the freedom to just taking care of Pensacola. And no matter if people had insurance or not, just do the right thing. And I also want to thank them for purchasing the Roche Cobas lab analyzer. It's an $800,000 piece of equipment so we could run those tests here in Pensacola. I'd also like to thank our community partners. 5 churches that we partnered with, Olive being the largest here. And Ted Traylor, I have to thank him. He did marry me and my wife Amber 24 years ago. And then also Brad Baker in Santa Rosa County for Milton Community Center, and Escambia County for the Molino Community Center. Final thanks to City of Pensacola, Escambia County, Community Health Northwest Florida. So Chandra, I saw John Porter on the video, a bunch of the board members. I've worked with them for 19 years. They would set up a site, we'd set up a site, we'd share staff. It was a great partnership, and I'm proud to be part of y'all's organization. And Don Rudolph, Will Condon, we needed a lot of staff. And our medical group's large. We're the largest in the Panhandle, but I needed staff, and Will and Don gave them to us when we needed them. My wife and kids, I want to thank them. It is, my son Ryan's here, so. Lots of weekends, nights, so thank y'all for being patient with me. And, finally, so I do have a couple doctors here. So I want to thank one of our doctors. So we have 500 doctors in our medical group. Dr. Kurt Morrison is over here. So, and I want to point him out because 2 weeks ago, my grandfather was getting out of bed and he slipped and he broke his hip. And I texted Dr. Morrison, and that day by dinner, he had had a hip replacement. And by the time he went to bed, he was already on a walker and on his way to recovery. So being over a medical group, you know your doctors are good, but when they take care of your family, it's next level. So thank you for that. All right, I think I'm done. Ascension looks forward to taking care of Pensacola and the community. I hope to be here another 20 years with Ascension. Thank y'all very much.
Our next award is for Professional Leader of the Year. And please welcome Dara Flanagan, Events and Community Impact Manager, Step 1 Automotive.
Good evening. At Step One Automotive Group, we believe there is nothing more important than leaving a legacy in the communities that we serve. We have 22 locations and more than 780 team members, and we encourage each of them to get involved at every opportunity, to volunteer, to participate, to make a difference in people's lives. As a company, Step One supports, sponsors, and donates to causes throughout the panhandle. We know that a healthy, happy, and emotionally empowered community benefits us all. That is why it is such an honor for us to introduce the Professional Leader of the Year Award. It exemplifies all the values of community, dedication, and commitment. Awarded to an individual in the healthcare field who has made a difference and contributed to the success of their profession by distinguished service within the healthcare field, has earned high respect for their integrity and inspires others in the healthcare industry. Our recipient exemplifies the spirit of this award with the impact she continues to make through the expansion of healthcare access in our community, along with the respect she's earned from patients and colleagues. She started her career path in social services with a desire to support and serve those most in need. She joined her organization as a social worker under her predecessor, Dawn Turner, whose leadership had a substantial influence on her. Dawn Turner said, "Even if you are on the right track, if you sit there, you'll get run over." Since becoming CEO in 2014, our recipient has gone above and beyond for her organization and the communities she serves. She led her team in the expansion of pediatric, dental, behavioral health, and pharmacy services. In 2020, her organization's overall economic impact was estimated at $64 million, up from $28 million in 2016. It's safe to say that she has moved at the speed of light on her track of success. Above all the accomplishments she and her team have achieved, her most proud moments were in the light of COVID and how the healthcare and community leaders, elected officials, and business partners worked together to respond and support our community. We honor our Professional Leader of the Year.
Chandra began her role at Community Health as a social worker, and she climbed her way up the ladder to executive director. So as a social worker, she leads with an empathetic heart, her compassion and empathy for those in our community, and then driving that back to our mission and who we are as a healthcare center, and keeping that conjoined at all times, focusing on the mission and keeping our emphasis on the patient and on those in the community, and then we figure it out around that. I just really admire the work that she's done for our community.
Well, I will tell you, the one thing I love about her leadership is that she is working in the community and looking at what sort of needs are there and how can she bring services to those families within what they provide. It was a balance of the heart and the business mind to really make this work, and she knew that it was going to take that.
So not only is she the CEO of Community Health Northwest Florida and a founding member of our Community Partnership School, but she started the pediatric facility, helps to get those students eyewear, again, assists with our dental van, making sure all the students have access. And she is truly a partner in our community partnership.
The one thing that I love about her is She's similar to me in the nature that we like to clown around a little bit, but we know when to get to business. I've never heard her in a meeting say, no, we cannot do that. It is always, let's get to the yes. And I think that is the hallmark of a really true leader, and I'm proud to have her in my life.
Chandra, congratulations on a well-deserved award for you as well as the team. You are an amazing person. I am so glad to know you, and I continue to value not only our partnership, but our friendship, and look forward to working with you for years to come.
Chandra, I am super proud of you. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition.
Chandra, you know I love you. I'm so proud and honored to know you and to see you win this award. It is amazing and well-deserved.
It is truly an honor to announce the 2022 Professional Leader of the Year, Mrs. Chandra Smiley. Thank you. You look beautiful tonight.
I wasn't expecting the video, so that was a nice surprise. Thank you very much for such kind words. I know that I wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for my team. I have a wonderful team that when COVID hit, their response, their over and beyond response to our community was truly inspiring. From senior leadership to frontline staff, they stood ready and without hesitation to answer the call to serve. Commissioner Lumen May gave us keys to Brownsville. My incident commanders, Andres Rivers, Tom Anderson, and our county friend Leroy Williams were there each day to make sure that our patients, our staff, had the resources they needed to provide the care and services for those who were going to seek them out for that day. Dr. Greer Hall and Dr. Smith, making sure that we felt comfortable and safe and understood what the pandemic and the virus meant, as well as Ann Papadelius and all of her communications, both internally and externally, and many, many more. I'm truly blessed that I get up every day and go to work with these beautiful people. We're here at the 2-year mark when COVID came to town. And I've been reflecting these past few days on those past 2 years. And I came across a quote from John Maxwell, and it said, "The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The leader adjusts the sails." And that is exactly what we did. We call it pivoting, but that's what we did. We have a community where competing organizations, government, elected officials came together to align ourselves and our work to offer support and service to a community in unprecedented times and uncertain times as well. For me, those past 2 years were our dress rehearsal, because the reality is tonight what sits on our doorstep are other crises in the community that require us to continue our work together. We all dream of Pensacola and our community as being a place where, regardless of, each and every individual has or is afforded the opportunity to thrive. In order for our hopes and dreams and aspirations to come to fruition, it's working together that will make the difference. As leaders, we have people in our ears all the time, people challenging us, people celebrating us, people criticizing us, sometimes constructively. But regardless of the voices that are around us each day, there's a voice inside of us. And the voice inside, for me, is God. And it's listening to His voice gives me the affirmations to know that I'm on the right track and I'm making the good decisions. It's important to make sure I hear His voice. In order to do that, self-care is critical. And as leaders, we tell ourselves, make sure you're taking care of yourself. We need to take our own advice and take time to do the things that we love, to replenish ourselves, to feed our body, our soul, and our minds. I look forward to continuing our work together. I am so grateful and so humbled by this award and this recognition. And thank you, Chamber, for taking the time to make healthcare the industry that you're honoring at this awards. So thank you again, and God bless. Thank you.
Our next award recipient of the evening is Leader in Education Award. This presented tonight by Howard Reddy, University of West Florida Vice President of Advancement.
Good evening, Pensacola. The University of West Florida is proud to support the Leader in Education Award. When it comes to the healthcare industry, educating the healthcare professionals and health industry experts that our medical companies and communities require drives UWF every day to maintain a laser focus on the quality of our degree programs and on producing the very best healthcare professionals. The Leader in Education Award is awarded to an individual in the healthcare field with a stellar record of educational service through outstanding contributions to advancement, mentorship, and encouragement of students in and outside of the classroom. This year's recipient has been with his organization for over 11 years and has earned the reputation of being skilled, compassionate, and a highly sought-after orthopedic surgeon in our area. He performs the most joint revision surgeries in our area and saw the need to teach this important surgery to others. Using his forward thinking and expertise, he created and leads the Adult Joint Reconstruction Fellowship at Ascension Sacred Heart Orthopedics. His first fellow recently graduated in the fall of 2021 and has assisted with over 400 cases through the program. Due to this individual's leadership, the reconstruction program is continuing to thrive and currently has students signed on through the year 2024. The fellows will stay on with the organization to join the practice and growth of the hospital system here in Pensacola. Tonight's recipient's teachings are the gold standard in adult reconstruction of the hip and knee, according to his peers. The physicians of the Gulf Coast recognize this, as his patients have traveled up to 200 miles to seek his care. We are proud to present this year's Leader in Education Award winner.
Well, first of all, you know, in the scope of training future surgeons, I mean, I think he has not only the surgical skills, but the mind to stay current and teach people something.
It's very important to him that we train the next wave of surgeons, the next generation of total joint orthopedic surgeons. So Dr. Morrison actually brought this idea to me and said, I want to start a total joint program for fellows and bring fellows to Pensacola, and let's do this. No big deal, right?
He said to me once when I was a medical student that doctor is Latin for teacher. And I never forgot that. And that it's your job to make patients understand the problems. You know, sometimes they're very complex, but if they don't understand what's going on, then they can't be a part of the solution.
He's probably one of the smartest people I know. He applies things that he learned in college and chemistry and which was his major, to his everyday life.
He just has a reputation of being the best and wanted to train the best behind him. And I think that speaks for why he deserved to win. He definitely has now developed a program that will be here and be with our orthopedic department for years to come, already have fellows lined up for the next several years.
So he always applies sort of that knowledge to his everyday living. With regards to the legacy, I mean, he's very smart, he's a very talented surgeon. From a patient care perspective, I mean, his legacy is in his surgery.
Just his desire to teach. Whether you're a patient, you're a nurse, you're a medical assistant, you're a student, doesn't matter who you are. If you're around him, he's trying to make you understand. Sometimes he's so brilliant it's hard to understand what he understands, but he does his best to make sure that you're better and you understand more.
It was important to him that we trained the next wave on everything that he's seeing because he was getting feedback of surgeons that we were interviewing that they were not seeing the types of things that we saw here and that they wouldn't necessarily be appropriately trained. And so he saw that as an opportunity to train the next wave and teach the next generation.
Constantly, Dr. Morrison is always speaking in quotes. And often he drops these pearls of wisdom on you. And you're like, that is a very good quote. That makes me feel better. It inspires me. If you only do what you can, you will never be more than you are. And I felt like that was a really good quote. And then most of them I found to find out are from Kung Fu Panda.
So Dr. Morrison has definitely challenged me and helped me think outside the box. He's one of the reasons why I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
I wouldn't be an orthopedic surgeon today without his help. Thank you for being a good mentor. I appreciate the work you've put into me and what you've allowed me to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our 2022 Leader in Education Award recipient, Dr. Kurt Morrison.
Well, thank you very much. It's definitely a big honor to be recognized here, and it would be remiss of me not to mention all the help I had along the way, because ultimately it's not something very simple to do to start a whole new educational program, particularly at the fellowship level. I went to Kristen Sylvester and Justin Liberato and asked if we could make this happen, and they said yeah. I mean, it was really with a lot less resistance than I thought I was going to get. So one thing led to another, and here we are, starting our fellowship and graduating our second fellow coming up this summer and continuing to evolve the process and continue to bring surgeons to the Panhandle. So I'd like to thank everybody for this award, and I'll keep it short because it's getting cold. And thank you very much.
Here to present the Spirit of Pensacola Award, please welcome Kara Bloomberg, the Chief Operating Officer, Landrum HR.
Hi, good evening. It's so great to be here to represent Landrum HR and to present the Spirit of Pensacola Award. So for all of you, I also represent, well, It's not really true to baseball because it's kind of the 8th inning stretch, but it's a 7th inning stretch. So if all of you will stand up just for a second, right? 10 seconds, stand up. Come on. We've been here, we've honored so many amazing people already tonight. We've got a few more, and they deserve all the attention and recognition. So thanks for standing up. Thanks for stretching. I appreciate it. It's getting cold, so we're moving around. And now we can sit down. Todd, I echo the sentiments about not wearing heels. And any host, when you forget not to wear heels, and I wore really great heels tonight, by the way, but they give you sparkly flip-flops, I'm at every party you're ever going to throw, and I'll wear my sparkly flip-flops. So presenting this award tonight is such a privilege for me and for Landrum HR, because Pensacola is so meaningful to us. And this person has spent decades advancing our community. This year, the Spirit of Pensacola is awarded to an individual in the healthcare field who embodies the spirit of Pensacola and who has given many years of service to the healthcare industry in our community. As a business person and community leader, our Spirit of Pensacola Award recipient is an ardent promoter of and truly exemplifies servant leadership. Our recipient spends his days leading the daily operations and planning of one of the largest projects in his organization's history. It may seem as though he was destined for this opportunity after spending 30 years overseeing a hospital's corporate facilities. He has worked to ensure that a diligent focus is paid to engage in minority and local workers in the project to ensure maximum local economic impact. In addition, he recognized the need for a robust community health navigator program for our area's minority community. He studied the Memphis Congregational Health Network, pioneered by Le Bonheur Methodist Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, and recruited leadership from their organization to launch Baptist-owned Faith Health Network. He lifts our community through his service with several organizations, including Community Health of Northwest Florida, where he has been a board member since its inception in 1992. He also serves as a board member for Health and Hope Clinic, Waterfront Rescue Mission, and the YMCA. In his spare time, he created First Priority, a not-for-profit entity, part of a national organization, teaching students to present the gospel to their peers at school. Lastly, he is a member of Hillcrest Baptist Church, where he's taught young men's middle school Bible study for the past 29 years. To know our recipient is to have been personally impacted by his generosity, his gentle spirit, and his zeal for the Lord. He is a successful business executive, longtime community leader, faith builder, and this year's Spirit of Pensacola Award winner.
First off was like, oh my God, that's somebody that's shorter than me. And you know, and we have tested over the years, he is maybe an inch or two taller. He does everything in the spirit of excellence. If you are going to be working with John Porter on a project, John is doing everything in the spirit of excellence.
You know, the Spirit of Pensacola Award is someone who has dedicated a lifetime of service in healthcare and to the community. And I can think of no more qualified individual than John Porter. The way he has served Baptist Healthcare, the way he has served the community, in leadership roles in many community nonprofits and local agencies, supporting the mission of each respective entity, and his values overlap those values of those organizations in which he serves. John Porter is the epitome of servant leadership. He is the epitome of humility and selflessness, yet strong, steadfast leadership, which I think embodies the spirit of Pensacola.
John has been instrumental in helping to serve the most vulnerable of our population. His legacy is way taller than him. You know, we have this thing about bleeding Baptist blue. Well, if Pensacola had a color, John would bleed it.
John has an incredible legacy. He has made a difference everywhere he has been throughout his stellar career. Another way that John is leaving a legacy is through people. John has touched many lives, young and adult, in many ways, and probably the most impactful way of his legacy that he's leaving are the lives he has changed. Everyone needs a John Porter in their life to make them better than they are.
He's a servant leader. He cares for his fellow man. He's never met a stranger. He's warm. He's welcoming. His heart is bigger than the Gulf. If every citizen embodied the spirit of John Porter, we would have a better community.
This year's Spirit of Pensacola Award recipient, Mr. John Porter. You're going up the steps. I just climbed right there. Thank you very much.
There is a segment in that last video that proves the theory, what goes around comes around. For those of you who know me, you know that I would rather be anywhere but here tonight in front of such a renowned and who's who group. And I have to say, the recognition feels undeserved, and I'm humbled by tonight's attention. Now, in the spirit of true disclosure, I did ask if maybe this award could actually be FedExed to my home address. And the answer was an emphatic no. So here I am. I've been in healthcare for 47 years. For the past 31 years here in Pensacola, Baptist Healthcare invited me, my wife, and our 4 children to join their organization and therefore this community. And I can tell you, I never looked back. No regrets, no second thoughts, no buyer's remorse. Over those years, I've actually had opportunities to go somewhere else, but I could never imagine it being any better relative to who I work for and the community that I live within. When I was made aware that I'd been selected as a person who embodies the spirit of Pensacola, I had to raise my eyebrow. If I'm actually, and I'm challenging it, worthy of this award, then clearly this is a community that is rich with those who I think are far more qualified. I took a quick look in the mirror, and to be honest, I just did not see that worthiness looking back at me. So, be honest with you, I've really wrestled with the legitimacy of tonight's recognition. But here's where I've landed. If representing the spirit of Pensacola is simply measured by having a passion to serve, to share my time, to be a parent, to be a grandparent, a Bible study teacher for our students, and maybe to play a small role in preparing those who are coming behind me, and for sure to have been blessed to live in an environment that has offered me such a fulfilling career, well, then maybe. But still, there's so many in this community who do this on a daily basis. To me, maybe a truer example of the real spirit of Pensacola could be my son, Nick, and my daughter-in-law, Megan, who are here tonight. Two young adults who were raised here and have chosen to stay here, to make Pensacola their long-term home, and to give to the community, not to take. And maybe an even better example are their sons, our grandsons, and you've probably heard them through the course of the night. They are here, JT 6 and Ollie 4. They're not the so distant future members of our community. And I know I have a bias, but they're two remarkable young men full of innocence, passion, and trust, a perfect recipe for true spirit. And I pray that they'll take those characteristics throughout their life. Some of you have heard me share this in the past. I passionately believe that God created us for one reason only. It's to glorify Him. It's to lift Him up. It's to share His glory with the world. What better way to do that than to take our own personal circumstances, our careers, our God-given skills and talents, our relationships, and simply use that as a launch pad for kingdom work. Baptist Healthcare and Pensacola have been the perfect environments to encourage and support just that. Now, in closing, please don't get me wrong. No matter how misplaced, I'm still human enough to be flattered and honored by tonight's recognition. I'm so grateful, so proud to have made Pensacola our home. So let me end where I started. I do not see myself as the spirit of Pensacola. I'm simply a delivery system, a conduit for the spirit that is Pensacola. So I thank you for this honor.
To present our final award of the evening, the Pioneer Award, please welcome Kendra O'Neill, Director of Business Development for Pedan Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electrical.
Hello, everybody. As a local family-owned business, Pedan Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric recognizes that community is important. In fact, community is everything. And we are honored to support our community and the top contributors within it by being able to present this award tonight. The Pioneer Award was established in 1978 and awarded to honor an individual in the healthcare field who has made significant contributions, provided leadership with lasting impact, and who has demonstrated a lifetime commitment to progress for the Greater Pensacola Area Healthcare community. The 2022 Pioneer Award recipient has been a part of his organization for over 20 years and currently serves as Emergency Department Medical Director. For the past 19 years, he has traveled annually to Central America on the medical mission, trips piloting a telemedicine health delivery project to expand medical care in rural Panama and establishing nonprofit organizations to help sponsor aspiring medical students from Panama. He also serves as the Education Director in Emergency Medicine at Florida State University and as the Medical Director of the EMT paramedic programs at Pensacola State College. In both roles, he has helped educate and mentor future healthcare professionals. In addition to his role as ED Medical Director, he is also an addiction medicine physician, advocating for the expansion of treatment for those with substance abuse disorders. He developed Gulf Coast addiction medicine in 2 locations and has established several jail programs. One of his goals is to educate others about substance abuse disorders in hopes of decreasing the negative stigma attached to this addiction. On top of his annual accomplishments, our recipient met the challenge of COVID-19 head on by making sure the emergency room was as prepared as possible to recognize prepared as possible to continue seeing patients who were impacted by COVID and those that were not. He recognized early in the pandemic that we were seeing a decrease in the number of heart attack and stroke patients coming to the ER because they were afraid. Because of his leadership, messages were sent out to the community alerting them that emergency rooms were safe and encouraging them to find care if they felt like they were experiencing an emergency. Our winner has served our nation in the United States Air Force and continues to serve by delivering high-quality, compassionate care to our community, an outstanding educational experience for medical school students. He is motivated by his faith, family, and those he serves at work and in our community. He is a true servant leader who has made significant contributions that will have an impact on the way medicine is delivered in Northwest Florida for many years to come.
What separates Dr. Stavros and makes him an extremely deserving winner of the Pioneer Award is his genuine dedication to serve others. Dr. Stavros has also served for over a decade as a physician leader for the Regional EMS District 1 Council. There is no doubt Dr. Stavros has elevated emergency medicine in our community.
Dr. Stavros is one of the pioneers that went on to develop the telemedicine programs in utilizing it in EMS programs. So,
he and I both have 8 kids, although I'm not sure he's done yet. I'm done. So he's been an amazing mentor, if you will, for students, for other doctors in the community. He became very interested in addiction medicine, and he started treatment centers in this area. He's got at least a couple in this area, but he stepped right up to help meet the needs of that. Despite being full-time working in the emergency room, working for us at the FSU College of Medicine, he still found time to do that as well.
During his time providing emergency care to patients with addiction issues, he recognized there was a need for medically driven addiction treatment in Northwest Florida. As his experience and focus in addiction medicine grew, Dr. Stavros earned his diplomat certification from the American Board of Addiction Medicine. Because of his tireless work and dedication, he has been able to impact hundreds of patients over the years who have struggled with addiction recovery.
His whole life is dedicated to helping other people. People with addiction, he helps people in emergency department, he helps to educate medical students, and he's just going to be looked upon as one of the renowned teachers of our time and educators and professional physicians that he just has excellent ethics and values and a great family man.
He's going to leave an impact on this community by all the other volunteer activities that he did that I don't even know about, in addition to what I've already mentioned. He's going to have quite an impact from the addiction centers that he has started in order to reduce the stigma and provide people with an opportunity to get their lives back who are suffering with addiction.
There are a lot of medical students today that are graduating from medical school, becoming doctors, and they are entering the field of emergency medicine as opposed to other specialties as a direct result of their encounter with Dr. Stavros and his education programs that he's responsible for at the Florida State College of Medicine.
I cannot think of a more deserving recipient of the Pioneer Award than Dr. Mark Stavros.
Mark, well deserved, buddy. Well deserved. Good job.
Okay, you're right. That was a total surprise on the video. So, wow. So I'm between you and going home and getting warm, so I have a few words to say, and I will keep it short. So I want to thank the Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce for this incredible honor. I also want to thank my amazing family, my beautiful wife and 8 children, and I think we might be done too. So. But thank you for their prayers and unending support of my medical vocation over the years. I would be remiss to not point out that this award truly belongs to all the hard work of all the people at West Florida's emergency department at the hospital, or Florida West Hospital. I'm going to have to get used to this name now. But to the doctors, to all the mid-levels, to the nurses, to administration, and all the other folks there that really endured and overcame the most challenging time that we've ever experienced in healthcare. When the pandemic first broke out, these amazing healthcare providers knew and understood how potentially awful this disease process could be. And daily we saw people getting ill or even dying from this horrible outbreak. Yet they still came to work knowing the possible bad consequences that could happen to themselves or even to their families. The ER staff came to serve their community, to work on the front lines, to care for all of us, and to help us all be safer. It continues to be an honor to serve our community with all of my ER colleagues. They truly are everyday heroes. Thank you again for this award, and God bless all of you. May He keep you safe. Thank you.
Well, as you can see, all of the individuals who've been recognized here tonight are exemplary. I hope their commitment to the Greater Pensacola area inspires you as much as they have inspired me tonight. At this time, I would like to call forward and present the President and CEO of the Greater Pensacola Chamber, Todd Thompson. And again, I thank you for allowing me the privilege and the honor to be with you tonight.
First, thank you, Sue Strawn. You are a jewel in our community, and just appreciate you hosting this every year. We have some lovely flowers for you. I didn't want to bring those on the stage because I thought could be a little tricky. But I want to start by saying some thank yous, and then I'll have a few comments as we close. First, I want to thank the Wahoo staff here tonight who served us and have done a great job setting up. Really appreciate everything that y'all have done for us tonight. So, special thank you. When we sat down last fall and started talking about what will P.A.C.E. Awards 2022 look like, our staff was bouncing ideas around, and then someone said, we should really honor our healthcare workers. They are the ones who have been on the front line the last 2 years dealing with something that no one could have imagined. And I said, that is just a fantastic idea, and we need to do this. So that started the process that brought us here tonight. And it was a lot of work, a lot of long hours, and a lot of effort by those individuals sitting in the back. Thank you so much to our Greater Pensacola Chamber of Commerce staff made this happen tonight. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud to lead this organization. With that, we've been able to honor 8 extraordinary healthcare individuals tonight. But there are thousands of healthcare workers in our community who aren't here tonight. And as we close, I just want all of us to stand and give them an ovation that they deserve. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here tonight. God bless. Have a great evening.